Hello everybody and welcome back to another War Thunder video. Today we are going to talk about the Fw-190c, a Christmas event plane that has recently just been released for the people who completed 10 out of the 12 missions or tasks that you had to do to get this aircraft. But there's a problem. This isn't just any ordinary Focke-Wulf. This is the so-called C variant, which is supposedly a turbocharged Focke-Wulf 190, a prototype, so to speak. This aircraft's performance at this point in time is, how do I say it, overwhelming. Because not only do you have the armament, speed, climb rate, and high altitude performance of the standard Focke-Wulfs, you also have turn time. That's it. And you might be sat there thinking, well, why is that a bad thing? That's a bad thing because Focke-Wulfs aren't renowned for their turning abilities. They're renowned for their vertical fighting, you know, the vertical high altitude fighting. This thing can hold with Yak 3s and Spitfires if you know what you're doing. So I booted up a match this morning and I wanted to make a video on it, so I flew the thing out a few times, you know. I've used all my 33 repairs for it. I know the plane quite well. I've been playing my D9 and D12, even the TAR, because you could say that is a Focke-Wulf. And I'm enjoying the thing, you know. It's racking up RP. It's classical German Focke-Wulf, boom and zoom energy. It's just what you want. So I'm finding myself at about 5,000 meters where I like to be in my Focke-Wulf, not too high, not too low. And I'm sat here waiting for something to happen, you know, just gaining my speed, just ready for the first engagement. Look around, see if anything's approaching me. And in front of me there's a black dot. And this appears to be a Spitfire and a P-51. So, I put the aircraft into a slight dive to bring me up to combat speed. I'm now going to put off a few shots towards the Spitfire and pull off. Nothing too bad of a hit, except until he flies straight by me. I'm not sure what he was trying to accomplish there, but he gave me the underside of his aircraft and he was punished for it. So I was thinking of going for the P-51 who pulled up, but at my airspeed I would not have pulled off the shot. But out of nowhere, Spitfire comes hurtling towards me, so I put the plane into a dive, the same maneuver, put some shots out for about 1 kilometer, pull up, he sparks off me, but the Spitfire proceeds to go left and up. Yeah, I don't really know what that was about, but these guns just chew through enemy aircraft. So, P-51 still behind me, put the takeoff flaps down, just look at that maneuverability. That shouldn't be a thing with the Focke-Wulfs. But carrying on with the little dogfight that's happening over here, I put the plane into a split S, and I follow the P-51, not even acknowledging I'm here, put some shots out from about 8 kilometers out, and the plane gets set on fire. So I then decided to leave that Mustang as he will be dead shortly, and there we are. That is our third aircraft killed in a matter of what? Maybe 30 seconds. You can do that in a standard Focke-Wulf. It's just that you wouldn't have been able to pull onto that P-51 in that split S nowhere near as quickly as I did in this thing. Let's speak about something. That right there should have been you know, my control surfaces should have started compressing, but no. So we're now chasing down the Spitfire because there's no one else up high. We put out some shots from 1 kilometer away, pull into the Spitfire as he pulls up, and he goes bye-bye. Sea Fury coming straight at us, and we put some shots out from about 1.2 away, pull up to evade his Spanos. Nothing sufficient, no shots landed, and then he gets taken out by a friendly BF-190. Just to find a Corsair diving in on me, and I put some shots in from about 0.7 away. I believe a few cannon rounds sparked there, and we got one sufficient hit, and I'm now out of ammunition for my 20 mils. So I'm then following this Corsair. Bear in mind this is a Focke-Wulf, right? I'm following this Corsair in his maneuvers after he's just come out of a dive. So we're not really doing much damage here. We got loads of sparks there. We're just getting landed a few odd hits, and for some odd reason the Corsair goes straight to the floor. That is our 5th kill for this match. In what? Maybe 2 minutes? 2 minutes from engaging the first target, maybe less. This thing is not well rounded. It is, what's the word for it? Overperforming by quite a big margin. But it is only overperforming due to the standard Focke-Wulfs not underperforming, but not performing to how I imagine them to perform. I think if you tone down the turn time on this thing, or the dogfighting capability, this thing would be balanced. As much as I hate to say it, and I love curb stomping people in this thing needs to be changed. Because once you learn, if you know how to fly Focke-Wulfs, this thing will be easy. You can outrun Spitfires, you can almost outturn them at altitude, even down low if you have speed. You can hold with pretty much anything you're fighting. This thing is incredible, and I get that an event vehicle, you work hard towards it, and you then get it, and the aircraft you expect it to be good. But I don't think a Focke-Wulf needs to be this good. So let's talk about something else that I wanted to just put out my thoughts on. So, Christmas events, right? They had the same missions every day. So this aircraft was, for me, easy to obtain. And in its current flight performance, that's not good. All you had to do was complete 10 of 12 tasks, and each task was like kill 35 players, 18 in RB and 12 in Sim. You had to get 6 assists, and you had to, what was the other one? I can't remember. Oh yes, 60% battle activity on a win. That was only, those are the 3 ones I consistently went for out of the 5 you got. And I completed that within a few hours. And that was it. That's all you had to do, practically, to get this aircraft. And there wasn't even different missions every day to challenge it. It was the same missions. So as you fly these missions out, every day you get better and better and better, and it just gets more brain dead to fly and do these missions. So, I mean, it wasn't that much of a challenge for people to grab this aircraft, and quite a few people have it. But I don't see many people doing too well in it, which is a surprise, because the flight performance of this aircraft is incredibly strong. So, let's just recap a bit. We've now just taken out that Corsair and we are flying back to base. I'm now absolutely hammering the engine to get back to base, just so I can get back in the air, because our team is not looking too strong compared to their 4 fighters and their 1 bomber, compared to our 2 bombers and 3 fighters. We are outclassed in fighters, and our bombers aren't going to do anything unless the enemy aircraft get killed by tail gunners. So I'm thinking, right, I need to get back to the field, repair, get up in the air as fast as I can. But at this point, I was wondering to myself, I'm not going to have the altitude to fight these guys, because there's a Focke-Wulf that is tailing me and is going to kill this JU-288. And I make my first mistake in a minute. After I land and repair, I make my first mistake. What I do is something that I do a lot, but with my current altitude and speed, just wasn't going to work, and a lot of you will see that. So I'm hammering it back to base now, just about to land my aircraft, and I'm looking at these aircraft going, right, they're to 20 clicks out, I'm fine, I'm going to slow down and land now. And the aircraft is something that isn't hard to get used to. The game was, I got 5 kills in the match. I'm not saying that my team could have done more. They could have, but I'm not bothered by that. I'm bothered by the fact that I messed up here. I really did. Because that Focke-Wulf, did I know, or had I have known, was trailing me. So I put it into a 20 and climbed as soon as I took off. So I put the aircraft into a 20, and at this point I'm chilling. I'm like, right, the Focke-Wulf is Spitfire 20 clicks out, I can get to altitude, maybe like 2,000-3,000 meters, and that'll be sufficient. But little did I know, any second now, that Focke-Wulf is going to appear much closer than I expected. And I'm talking extremely close. And if you can see, there's a black dot in the cloud cover that's coming straight towards me. That black dot is currently a Focke-Wulf 190A8, the American premium version. So what do? Once again, I pull down into a dive, but the Focke-Wulf doesn't care about me. I try and put some shots out, don't hit any of them. I'm too low on airspeed. I put my smoke on. This is what I like to call self-baiting. It's widely used in the War Thunder community. You put your smoke on to attract attention from the enemy aircraft. So at this point, I'm really pushing my throttle because he has killed my bomber. I'm trying to catch up to this Focke-Wulf 190A8, but it's just not going to happen. In a minute, he's going to start outrunning me. I try and put some shots out from long distance, but none can connect. So I think to myself, let's try that technique that I love, which is where you pull off, you make the aircraft into a false, put the enemy aircraft into a false sense of security. This works, but realise I have not got enough speed for this. I have not got the distance. The Focke-Wulf comes at me, I miss all my shots, and I pull straight into his salvo of rounds. Meaning we only now have 2 fighters, probably left to 1, as the P-40, one of our props dies, and that was game over. A simple mistake that led to ultimately the demise of this game. If I hadn't, and if I just run, this game would have been completely different.